Oh my gosh, it is late at night. I just got back from my son's football game. I'm exhausted. I've been wearing the same makeup all day, but I freshened up my lip gloss, so everything should be good, right? But welcome back to Makiki in 1988. My name is Michelle, and I have a great unboxing for you guys today. I don't do a lot of these just because sometimes I feel like, you know, it's overhyped, and we're all excited when we first open a bag. But what does that long-term review look like? So I'm gonna do the unboxing, I'm gonna dress the bag up, I'm gonna use it a little bit, and then I'm going to post this full video. Get the whole experience with this video because I think we do miss out on a lot of that with the unboxings. But this is a great bag that I had researched a lot, and as I get into it, I'll tell you why I got this, why it took me so long to find the right one, and ultimately what got me on this particular bag. This is a Coachtopia bag. So if any of you guys have been following the new launches, some of the popular items have been coming out, this is one of those. So I'm gonna go ahead and get right into it. You'll have to forgive me. I, for the life of me, can't bring myself to buy box cutters. So I'm using my large kitchen knife, which I'm sure is why it still cuts so wonderfully because it's always cutting cardboard. But this is a Coachtopia bag. I opted for the gift wrap experience, but considering that Coachtopia is supposed to be all about sustainability, you would think that they would have found a way to get into a smaller box. So, I mean, I guess this is what it is, but any guesses on what this little lovely bag is? So, I love the gift wrap experience. I buy my own gifts, so why not have fun with it? A lot of times my gifts to myself are gifts associated with like recent wins, recent successes, or sometimes like mental wins, emotional successes, right? When you've overcome something huge. While the gifts sometimes may appear to be materialistic, I often associate them with just like hard work or like just significant overcoming or just, you know, a goal or something that I worked really hard to get towards, right? And so I do actually really appreciate the gifts that I've given myself because I don't just buy things like willy-nilly. I try to associate with them with things that are like meaningful. You know, over the last couple months, there's been a lot of kind of crazy stuff going on in life. You know, earlier in the year, I unfortunately had a relationship that ended in a less than stellar way. My sister was diagnosed with cancer. Less than 7 months later, she passed away. And there's been some heavy stuff, but in the midst of that, there's also been like some really like happy stuff. And I have just learned that, you know, life kind of comes full circle, and a lot of times like the best and biggest things, the things that you need to propel you forward, like towards that next step or that next stage in life, oftentimes happen like simultaneously with some of the hardest or biggest challenges of your life. So I did take the moment to write myself a little note on the gift card here, and I just put, you know, keep putting your best foot forward. So, you know, while we can't always predict or prevent the things that happen to us, whether good or not so good, right? We can change a lot or have a lot to say about our attitude and how we face those things. And I think one thing that I've finally allowed myself to like wholesomely accept is that life is full of, you know, really high highs and really low lows. And the best thing that I can do when I'm having a really high high is set things up or set things in place or save things, set things aside, right, for when those lows come. And I find a lot of value in words and in quotes and in like meaningful notes to myself. And so this was just like one of those fun, sentimental things that I got to do. So don't cry on the other side of the camera. It's just, you know, we're there, we got it. But back to the bag. So I've got this Coachtopia bag, which I'm super excited. Of course, it does come with the dust bag, which is actually a really significant dust bag, if I do say so myself. And of course, they give me some extra stuffing, which is nice because I am really learning to appreciate and understand the need and importance of stuffing bags. So this is a very, like, I guess this is a true canvas bag. I don't know if you live in a hippie place like California where people reuse their bags. I'm sure you could take this grocery shopping. Unfortunately, in Texas, people barely value the importance of recycling. But on the back, it says, "Welcome to Coachtopia, a world in progress. Join us on the road to circularity." So a really nice one. And a little sneak peek. All right, wow, okay. I'm excited about this one. So I went with the Coach Alter Ego in black, and I am so happy that I did. This is a very nice, squishy, soft bag. Of course, this is Coachtopia. It has, okay, let's just get into this. It's supposed to, so a couple things why I chose this bag. Let me just tell you that part. I have really loved the Coach soft tabby bags. I've seen them several times. I've touched them several times. I've thought about wanting one, but I don't really like the messenger style. There's something about like that flap that takes me back to like 7th grade and all those experiences. And I really just like a good secure bag with a zipper. So when I started seeing the Coachtopia Alter Ego bag coming out, which I think was Finavid, if that's how she says it. Thank you for posting your videos and alerting us to this bag. I wish I could have picked the multicolor bag, but black is just my thing, and I had been looking for the perfect black bag. I had gotten a couple earlier in the year, and ultimately, you know, I gave one to my daughter, and then I've listed the other one for sale just because it wasn't quite to my liking. One was too small, and one had an issue with like dye transfer. But I've really wanted just a good classic bag, and I've really loved the look of a lot of the Y2K bags, but I didn't want it to just be like Y2K because as most trends, those things will go out. I was looking at some of the Marge Sherwood bags, some of the other Korean bags, but I just couldn't quite pull the trigger. So when I saw this one, I was like, oh my gosh, that's it, because I love Coach. I know Coach quality, and simultaneously I really love soft tabby, but I just couldn't quite get over that messenger flap, and also the price point, right? Most Coach bags I feel like are pretty moderate. I had set a personal goal for myself, that, or personal marker for myself really, that I would not buy a bag more expensive than my Longchamp bag that I have, which I did buy brand new at retail price. And so that means I won't pay more than the $505, and that's something I'm trying to really hold myself to. So I think the soft tabby was like $7.95 or something like that. However, the Coachtopia Alter Ego bag is made from tabby scraps, or at least it is according to their website. And I was like, oh, that's a win. That's a win all day. Plus I love that this bag is convertible. It is supposed to come with 2 straps, so you can wear it as a shoulder bag or a crossbody bag. It's got the adjustments on the side, so you can adjust it according to your height, and it's supposed to be big enough to fit a tablet. So all things said, I was super excited to get it and try it. Opening it up, you know, you've got all these things in here. We do have the other strap. So this is the crossbody strap. Not a gentle opener, so I'm just gonna do that. Very nice, and I love that the strap is actually also very supple, where I feel like sometimes the crossbody leather straps for Coach are a little bit stiff, and that's why I tend not to like them. But this should be plenty long for me, and probably hit a little bit longer than my Longchamp bag, which is already a good length. And I'm just gonna pull all that out. I love the way they stuff these. I do keep the stuffing or the important pieces so I can keep the shape on my bags. All those lovely things. Silicone. Okay. So first thought, like, I love that it's thin, and like everybody says, it's super squishable. The black is beautiful. Like, I've got to give you a quick zoom in. Like, the black, I love that this is black with the black stitching, and you have just a little bit of silver hardware. If you look on the inside, it's like one large open pocket. You do have the Coachtopia leather stamp with the style. And then this one, kind of similar to a lot of the recent releases, instead of having a zipper pouch, it has that snap pouch at the back, which is great because I'll typically put either just my card holder, my EDC, or this one is actually probably big enough for my phone to go in should I ever decide that my phone deserves its own pocket. Pretty simple. It's got a nice smooth zipper. You know, I'm going to go ahead and put, well, I mean, I'll try it on in a minute here. I will plan to go ahead and put on the crossbody straps here. I did order some of these screw rivets, which again Finavide had done on her video, to make her own charms, which is great because I already have like some resin charms I wanted to just use again. I have plenty of bag charms and accessories, so I'm going to deck this one out a little bit. But I also love that I actually really like her just simple like this. Of course, we've got this is a very simple Coachtopia stamping. This does come with the beautiful tortoiseshell Coachtopia resin tag, and then this one also comes with a tag that says Coach on Leatherworks on the front, and on the back it has the Coachtopia stamping. I love all these bags now that are coming out with like the little, what I call like the charm holder. So that's this one. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how the bag fits as a shoulder bag, how it fits as a crossbody bag. I'm going to dress her up a couple different ways. I'm going to stuff her, and then I'm going to use her for a few days. And then you'll get that nice comprehensive video. So I hope you guys appreciate this fun experiment that I'm about to do, and I'll see you in just a second. To give you my overall review of the Coachtopia Alter Ego bag. I unboxed this a few days ago. I've been in it ever since. I'm not gonna lie, this is my new favorite carry, and I'm gonna tell you why. So before I get into the bag, before I tell you all the super high level details about it, I actually wanted to compare it to some of my other similar size and kind of similar style bags that I have that are also some of my favorite carries for when I'm carrying a little bit of a heavier load or when I'm traveling, and just kind of tell you like why this has quickly risen to be like my favorite bag. So I brought out for comparison the Coach Brooklyn 28, which is a great bag, and I brought out my Longchamp Le Pliage Cure two-way, which is also a great bag and my go-to for travel. One of the things that I've realized is, you know, when I'm looking at bags on the shelf, right, or bags at the store, I love the structure of structured bags, but I don't like the way that structured bags carry. I like bags that kind of mold into my body or sit with my silhouette or just provide that nice, just like slouchy look. And that's probably why this is one of my favorite like go-to bags, because even with just minimal items in it, it just droops, it oozes, right? And it's such a great look. The Coach Brooklyn bag has a very similar style to it, and that it's, as I've used it and as I'm carrying more things in it, it's starting that natural slouch. So I look forward to when that really extends to the bottom of the bag. And then, of course, we've got the Alter Ego, which it just comes from the factory in slouch. And as I was carrying it, I was trying to figure out, you know, the Coach Alter Ego and the Coach Brooklyn should feel more similar to me. They're both essentially hobo style bags. The Alter Ego does come with a second crossbody strap, which I thought I was going to want to wear, but I actually really like carrying it as a shoulder bag better because it has, I think, just such a good arm clearance. The strap, of course, is adjustable. I have it on the, I think, 5th notch, which for me sits so perfectly. And I was trying to figure out, why do I feel so differently about the Alter Ego versus the Brooklyn? Because the Brooklyn, although not adjustable, is also a great hobo style, which is probably my favorite style bags. It has a great and easy arm clearance, but I do find that I have to kind of readjust it a little bit. It's gotten better as I've owned it, and I was kind of looking through and double checking, and I realized that what Coach did on the Coach Brooklyn, right, is kind of reinforce it with a second piece of leather. If you look on the inside of the bag, you can see where that second strap of leather is coming up on the inside. And that probably is the only place on the bag where it's really structured because of that reinforcement. There's one on the inside and one on the outside. And then I'm assuming that this piece that creates the main bag probably does join in there. So, the bag throughout the strap is actually very structured. And I realized that actually is the reason why it's been bothering me. So right now I'm trying to do a bag hack. I have all my extra like SLGs and like some heavier items on the inside. And I literally have this hanging on one of my towel rack hooks in the bathroom. So I can get this to kind of wear down. And then I'll grab it every so often and just kind of work the strap. And as I've done that, I do find that it sits easier. Okay. But on the Coach Alter Ego, it is just that, it probably is two pieces that create the one bonded strap, but it is a softer leather, a more supple leather. So it's already just naturally hanging right where it needs to on the bag with the weight of the bag. So that's just one thing that I thought was very interesting. With the two-way, of course, it does have the top handles, but this bag does also have a nice, very supple, wider strap, and that's actually really why I enjoy it. Plus, I like that it's a little bit of a shorter crossbody, so if I'm carrying it as just like a very minimal purse, I can just let it like hug my body and go with it that way. So I will say thanks to the Coachtopia Alter Ego. That is why I have finally realized that like slouchy bags are just my only style that I really can go for consistently. So those are all great bags. Again, these are my top 3 lineup for like an everyday purse or a purse where I'm carrying a little bit of heavier items. So I'm going to just kind of set those aside here. This bag has quickly risen to becoming one of my favorite like all-time bags. Like the only bag that it truly rivals with would be my Longchamp Les Pliage Cure Extra Small. Like, I just love it. And I think there are so many reasons why. I think one of the reasons why this bag has become one of my favorite bags, right along the line with my Longchamp Les Pliage Cure Extra Small, is that bag, similar to this bag, it's just got just a little bit of edge to it. If you look at it, it's a very clean aesthetic, of course, without all the accessories. This bag and the Longchamp have just like a very simple silhouette. This one, of course, is the black with the stitching, and then you have the silver. The Longchamp is a nice, dove gray with like the gunmetal. You can really dress those bags up or down. I love that I don't have to think so much about, oh, can I wear this with this outfit or can I wear this with that outfit? Like, I literally took this on Saturday with me to my daughter's soccer games and then took it later that night for a date, so it makes total sense to go all day wear, all week wear. And I think that's what I really, truly love about a good bag for me. I am not typically one of those women who changes bags every single day. Honestly, until I really started being more intentional about trying to figure out what the type of purse I like, I would probably carry the same purse like day in and day out, even though it bothered me and even though I felt like it didn't really match with different outfits. I would just find a black purse and wear that the whole time. I'm trying to get away from that because I realized that was part of the reason why I wasn't like wanting to put effort into my wardrobe or getting dressed, because I didn't really know how to incorporate my purses or what type of purses I really liked. That issue's been solved. But the Coachtopia Alter Ego has quickly become one of my top carries because it is so reflective, I think, of my personal style. I do also love that it kind of plays into the current trend of that kind of is the throwback to the Y2K style, but that is also something that I think, by just adjusting some of the bag charms, it can easily just be, almost like a quiet luxe look. It's casual. It's, business casual. It's comfortable. It carries so much, or it can carry so little. I love that it's squishy and that it very easily accommodates like whatever's in the bag. Just the composition of the bag is very similar to the Coach Brooklyn 28. It's a thinner leather. But this one, unlike the Coach Brooklyn, actually is lined. And so I'm not worried about like the inside leather getting scratched up or really like damaged or anything. not really particularly worried about that on the Brooklyn either, but that was just one thing that I noticed because I do love the Brooklyn bag, and I feel like the Brooklyn and the Coach Alter Ego have a very similar styling to me, in that they're both, like hobo style bags. Um, when I bought this bag, I thought I was going to really want to carry it more crossbody, but I do find the strap on this to be very comfortable, and then it is a little bit wider. It is adjustable. I've got it on the 5th notch right now. And then with my added accessories, I just really like it for just a really edgy shoulder bag. And like, I can wear this everywhere I go. I'm really sad that I'm actually about to head out to a work trip tomorrow. And although I could style this for work, I do need something a little bit bigger. So I'll jump back into my Longchamp Cure 2-way. But this one will be sitting in its dust bag, waiting for me to get back from California, and I will just be ready to hurry and put my accessory back in here and just keep going with this bag. So this is probably one of the few bags, other than maybe like the Brooklyn, that I'll do another review in a few months and maybe a year and see where we're at with it, because this is just such a really great quality bag. And you consider that for the $295 price point. And then the fact that this is actually on the website, it says that this is crafted of leftover tabby leather, which I know that is a long-standing, very popular bag as well. I think some people have said that maybe some of these Alter Ego bags also have some Brooklyn scraps, but I actually think it's more the satchel. But so good quality leather. When you compare the pricing of this to the pricing of the tabbies, it's made from the same leather. There obviously is a lot of quality put into the design, the style. The zipper is very smooth. The leather, I don't know what you would call these, the leather buckle or the metal buckles are the same quality as you're seeing on the Coach retail bags. And I think this overall just a very different look for Coachtopia. Previously I had kind of like, perused some of the ergo, but it just wasn't really my styling. And I think even from not being able to see one of those bags in person, I could tell that the material, the leather was just too stiff and wasn't going to be to my liking. But they have solved that with the Alter Ego. This bag does come in a few different colors. I know I've seen a few people with a really beautiful, like multicolored patchwork one. I love that for them, but oh my gosh, that would create decision paralysis and cause me so much anxiety if I tried to figure out how to wear that for myself. I had a tough time making a decision because I really actually liked the black and white checker bag, but I recently got a similar colored bag, and so I couldn't get another black and white. I don't do duplicates. That is one of my number one rules, to avoid just over consuming, right, and having all these things that I love and think I'm going to wear. I liked the white one as well. It's very beautiful. I could see myself styling that, especially with like some of these darker accessories and metals. But white is a little bit difficult to clean. And then when I consider the sizing of the bag and how I would use it, it does reflect a lot of what I already have in my Longchamp L'Éclairage Cure, which is a very, very white gray. So I was like, well, I can't do that, but I can do black because I've really been struggling to find the perfect black bag. I had one from Portland Leather Goods that I thought I was going to keep, but ultimately I got very frustrated with the way that it like sat too far out from my hip, and it wasn't in like a slouchy leather, but also I was dealing with issues with leather transfer. I had tried a few smaller black bags, only found out they were too small, so I returned one, and the other one I gave to my daughter. And I had just been having a hard time. Like, black purses are supposed to be the easiest type of purse to find, and then I saw this one. So that dilemma thankfully is over in my life. But okay, let's get into this. So it comes with 2 straps. You can carry it as a shoulder, you can carry it as a crossbody. The straps are adjustable via the notches. They're really great. I don't know if you've looked at some of the other videos of the Coach Alter Ego. There are ways to also add what they call screw rivets or Chicago rivets into the remaining, whatever those are called, for lack of a better term, we'll call them belt buckle holes. And then you can put charms on them. After I charmed the bag out on my zipper and on my attachment, I decided I didn't need anything else for me. So I'm going to just leave it at that. I did bring out some of the things that I've been trying to find to pair with the perfect bag. This was just a generic gunmetal colored chain that I had found on Amazon that I thought I was going to put on my Longchamp and end up not liking it on that bag because it took away from the quiet luxe look of it. But it is very lightweight, so I thought it would be perfect with this bag, and it is. So I've just attached that onto some of my other chains that I do like the attachments to go onto the zipper. It's just an easier zipper pull method. I had purchased this lovely heart-shaped lock, which is a true lock from Amazon, not from Amazon, from Poshmark. And I've been trying to find a bag that it sat well with, and I was just so happy to see how it just kind of slouched right into the bag with the design. Of course, the alter ego does come with the Coachtopia leather tag, which has Coachtopia on one side and Coach on the other, and then the beautiful resin, I guess you would call it kind of like tortoise shell tag, which I'd always wanted one of these. My black tea rose, since I am selling my black Portland leather goods, I pulled this off of there and I was like, oh my gosh, this can't just sit in my SLG drawer because this was one of my favorite things I purchased, but I didn't want to just put it on any bag. And I love the way that it looks on this bag. I had bought a generic Coach Rexy from an Etsy seller in gunmetal, so I was super excited to put that on this bag. I just had an extra shorter chain from Amazon and then some resin cherries from a previous purchase. So I paired everything together to create what would probably be my maximal look. And I really just love this. But I also love it because I grouped everything in the way I hung it. I can easily take off the accessories and limit it down to maybe just a simple zipper pull, like if I wanted just to do the silver setting or just to have the rose on there, or heaven forbid if I wanted nothing on there, which I don't foresee that, but if it occurred to me, I would do it. I have played with a few different accessories in the bag. I really like the way that I have it working now. Pouches and the pouch system work really well in this bag. I did have a smaller SLG in here because I do love and have this Coach Bandit. This is actually the belt bag that I just took the belt out and added some carabiners, I guess you'd call to those, so I can clip on a little strap and carry it crossbody instead. But I do love it as a wallet. I had my cards, and then I was keeping my key fob in here, and I had that in the bag, and it carries fine in the bag. I just think the only reason why I didn't necessarily like it is because the bag is maybe only about, that's probably about 3 inches in width, and either have to lay it next to a pouch or in front of, and I just didn't like the way they changed its silhouette. So I ended up condensing my wallet and brought it all into one of my Coach pouches that I have. And if you guys can see those dogs going back and forth, I apologize. I don't know why they're feeling frisky. But quick overview of what I have in my bag. This is what I've been carrying for the last few days. Most of this will come with me to my work travel bag, and then I'll bring it right back in when I get back. And I thought I would just kind of show you how I have it set up. Of course, I've got my Ray-Bans because, you know, the sun shines all year round here in Texas. I've got my phone that I just carry in there. Of course, I'm not still using the iPhone 13, but that's a great representation. I have purchased this lovely chartreuse colored pebble leather Coach case from Poshmark, and this is honestly one of my favorite wristlets. I love the look of some of the newer ones, but I don't like how like thick and stiff they are, and this is really still very pebbly, and I found that I really like this one very similar to the same reasons why I like my Michael Kors one. It's just super squishy and it accommodates quite a lot. So what I actually have in here is I've condensed my EDC, I've got gum, I've got receipts, I've got actually even a card holder in here, I've got cash, I've got wedding drops, and everything just fits super well. So that's actually how I'm taking it right into my work bag. And then when I go for the evening events, like this wristlet strap is one of the few that doesn't bother me because it's got a little bit more space and it can hang all the way down to my elbow and I don't have to worry about it. Will my phone fit in this one? No, but I do have a cellular watch, and so I don't necessarily need to carry my phone in the evenings. So digging in, I'm trying to use the last of this darned Bath Body Works primer, lovely tampon, scrunchie, travel size Scentbird, which is another one of the Michelle Germains that I got, and this is a beautiful, beautiful scent. I try to make sure that I wear specific scents when I'm traveling for work, so this will be the one I take with me. I do love gourmands, but I think when we think of gourmands or when we smell gourmands, they kind of allude to like flirty or sexy behavior, right? And I'm not trying to encourage that in the workplace. And so this was a really great in between. And this one is the Michelle Germain Sexual Secret, which is ironic because it is a very clean scent, which is a very, very light notes of like some fruits behind it. Smells very professional. and just has a very nice, subtle but persistent scent to it. So I really love that. AirPods, of course. iWalk charger. My lip combo today, I've got the Merit Slip and then the Tower 28 Cashew for my topper. So it's actually what I'm wearing now. Really great combination. And I love that both of these brands are actually very clean and very hydrating. I don't have to reapply them several times. And it's just like a great natural but slightly enhanced look. And then in the Snap Pocket, which I wanted to highlight, I do really love the Snap Pocket because it's a little bit bigger than most and definitely bigger than the Snap Pocket in my Brooklyn. But right now, because I have to pull my house key out, I just have my house key and gym key there. And then my favorite little compact mirror that I'm still carrying. And again, this is one that I upcycled from a eyeshadow duo where I depotted the eyeshadow and then put just some charms in there. One is my horoscope, which I am an Aquarius, and then my kids' birthstones. So that's just a cute little fun yet edgy sentimental thing that I like to carry around. But that's the bag, and I really love it. You know, the bag does purport online that it can fit an iPad. I only have an iPad Pro. You can put it in, but you have to put it in first or very last and just kind of turn the bag over as you're putting it in, which I'll show you here in a minute. I have seen other people put the regular iPads in it. It fits much better. It's fine. It's great. I don't necessarily need another bag to carry my iPad, but I was happy that if I really did want to just use this bag to do that, I definitely could do that as an option. So let's see, what else have I really enjoyed about the bag? I like that, like unlike my Longchamp, it does have a little bit more structure, so things aren't just like falling around. You know, it is kind of lacking shape in that. It does allow stuff to kind of fall around, and I find that I have to dig more. Where when I set up the Alter Ego, you know, I do my lines on one side and my random things on the other, like my lotion and lippies and, you know, AirPods and charger, and things tend to generally stay where I put them, which makes it much easier when I go to get in the bag. So I'll just kind of show you when I have it repacked. So generally speaking, things stay where I put them, and then I'm not digging all around. Love it, love it. Would recommend this bag to anybody who is looking for a luxe bag, or if you're a lover of the quilted tabby material and you want something that's a little bit more budget friendly, this would definitely be it. You know, I had looked at a number of the tabbies. I don't necessarily like the traditional ones, but the quilted ones were pretty, but they're a little bit too short. We're not into the smaller East-West bags. I really like the soft tabby and then like the tabby messenger, but I have set a personal limit for myself that I won't exceed the price point of my current highest price bag, which is my Longchamp Le Pliage Cure Extra Small, which I did buy brand new, and the price of that bag before taxes was $505. So I just feel like going beyond that is like unnecessary for me. Unless, of course, somebody wanted to buy me a more expensive bag, which, you know, somebody, if you're out there, you're welcome to do so. But out of my wallet, out of my budget, I just won't do that. And I want to say that the tabbies I was looking at were more like the like $7.95 range, which to me is just, it isn't necessary when you consider like it's just a purse, right? We're just carrying around wallets, we're just carrying around, you know, a little bit of makeup, ass wipes, things like that. Like, why do we have to spend an exorbitant amount of money on a purse? I just feel like there's ways to find exactly what we need with a little bit of what we want, add some fashion sense, add some style without breaking the bank. And I have had a blast over the last few months, kind of, you know, figuring out what I want in a purse, trying things, realizing that some things maybe don't work for me, selling those things. Some things I made money on, some things I had to take a little bit of a hit on. And essentially I revamped my entire purse collection. So I'll do an updated video on that soon. But I can honestly say that when I walk into my closet now and I see my bags displayed, I know that I love each and every one of those bags, and I can't wait to get into the next one, or to try something new with my wardrobe and bring this one out because it's maybe got that green that I'm trying to learn how to style better, or this one out because it's got that red, I'm trying to wear more red, or when I'm looking for a classy look. Or I love that I can look and go in my closet like, oh my gosh, I actually have a few bags or a few purses or a few options for date night. And I'd already done some I had already taken care of my SLGs, and so I really feel like having different choices, but a small selection of choices, makes me excited to try the bag and style the bag and pair the bag in different ways. And it's just been fun. So I've really enjoyed that. And I am, well, I was just going to lie again and say that I am now done with my purse collection. There is maybe one more bag that I'm thinking about, which is also from the Alter Ego line, but I'm going to wait and I'm going to see what the overall reviews of it are. I'm going to see if I can maybe find some way to get my hands on one or look at one in person. And then I'm going to see if I can convince my kids to buy it for me for Christmas, because that's technically not me buying it then. We'll see if that works. I'll let you know. But this has been a great bag, and I'm happy to say that for the most part, I'm pretty much done with purses and just working on a few other things. I've already done my wardrobe. I've largely taken care of my skincare / beauty routine, which I'll show you some updates on that soon. And I have to tell you, like, when I get out of bed in the morning, I am so much more eager and excited to get ready for the day. And I love that, because that is what I had hoped I would actually get myself to. I have always been a morning person, but I never really enjoyed like that morning routine. I would think to myself like, oh my gosh, getting ready and doing my hair and taking care of my skin and blah, blah, blah is such a chore. And why does being a woman have to be so hard? And I realized like it wasn't necessarily that it was hard. It was just that there were some things about like a self-care routine that I had never been taught, but also that I had never really allowed myself to explore and kind of figure out what worked for me. And since I've had more time and I've had the opportunity to just kind of reinvest some time and effort into myself, I found that it's actually not that hard. I do have some complicated things going on when it comes to like my skin. So ultimately I needed to find a better skincare routine. And when I actually started doing that, I found that there are some really great skincare products that kind of just can naturally enhance the beauty aspect. And I found much more satisfaction with those versus like true beauty products of like, straight lipstick and straight foundation or concealer. Those things I felt like worked, but skincare did not. Just for a little context, a couple weeks ago, after getting frustrated of like some continual darkening of my cheeks and feeling like it was spreading, and then seeing those spots like on my nose and upper lip and forehead as well, I actually did decide to go ahead and do a little research, and I figured out that it wasn't necessarily just like darkening or hyperpigmentation or sun damage like I thought it was. I actually had a strong inkling that I have melasma, so I did go see a dermatologist who confirmed that, which like, oh my gosh, okay, that's something I can handle without having to do like some really intense skin treatments. I ended up just getting on a quick, simple, what they call tranexamic acid. So I take a pill in the morning, I take a pill at night, and then right now I'm just doing a nighttime cream. So we'll try that out for a couple months, and then I'll go back to the dermatologist and see if there's anything we need to add to that. But in just these few weeks, I've already seen such a great improvement. And oh my gosh, like, forget all the contouring, forget being beautiful and all this makeup. I just enjoy seeing my skin. I just enjoy seeing myself, and to see my natural complexion returning, that's like heaven. That's like heaven. So, I'll show you some of the beauty things that I use, or the skincare things that I use that not only protect my skin, because I do have to make sure that I wear SPF all day long, and then also reapply every 2 hours, so that it doesn't, because my products I use are reactive to the sun, and it could actually make my spots worse. But also they're very hydrating and have helped to even out my skin tone, so I'm not dealing with such combination skin like I was before, not seeing dry patches like I was before. And all of that, of course, is very motivating. And then I get up and I just go into my routine, and I figure out what purse I want to wear, or I figure out what shoes I want to wear, or I figure out what shirt I really, really want to wear, and I create an outfit out of it. And even though most days I'm just going and taking kids to school or walking upstairs to my office to work, I really look forward to it. I enjoy it. And it's like, oh, like this is what I've been missing out on for the last 30 some odd years. And now that I've taken the time to think about it, you know, it did take a little bit of investment of time and it did take a little bit of investment of money to kind of figure out exactly what I want and create a wardrobe and a first collection around that. But now I have that and I thoroughly enjoy it. And I feel like I'm getting my money's worth. And I feel like I'm like, it's just very valuable. And I feel good. And I think when we talk about self-care, right, because of course my background is in occupational therapy, so self-care means a lot to me. But when we talk about self-care, that is really the point of it, right? To allow you or to improve your function in daily living. So I'm not just taking a shower and putting lotion on and getting dressed. I'm doing those occupations or those self cares in a way that is meaningful and valuable to me. And that has drastically improved my quality of life, my outlook on life, my mood, my attitude, and I think in general, the way that I just approach everything. So maybe one day I'll do a video talking about self-care and really like the psychological and psychosocial aspects of that. So if you want to get nerdy with me, let me know. Otherwise, I'll pretend I'm just very superficial and I just like to put on makeup and wear purses, which that's not me at all. But thank you for joining me for another video. Thank you for letting me get a little bit chatty and doing a full review from the unboxing to what's in my bag to how the mod shots to just talking incessantly. I really enjoy this. I enjoy interacting with everybody. I enjoy looking at your videos. I love, especially people let me know, you know, like they have a video coming or they bought a similar bag or they bought a similar bag in a different color, and I keep an eye out for those. So if you have any videos, especially any purses or you know, hair or beauty routines, skincare routines, anything you would like me to check out, I would be happy to do so. YouTube is one of the ways that I keep myself engaged when I'm doing admin work in my office, and so I love to just kind of scroll through channels and see what unique perspectives there are out there. But I will see you guys in the next video, and until we meet again, I hope you have a great day or evening or weekend, and that you just enjoy your life and live it to the fullest. See you next time.